Okay, we're going to move on to 3F, finding unknown sides. Let's have a look at the first example. If you were given a right angle triangle, this is basically the content before the exam, right? So if you were given a right angle triangle, we'll be given the angle theta, so we should know how to find opposites, how to label opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Yeah? Okay, so today we're going to, that one we've already covered before the exam. Today we're going to move on to find the actual length. Okay, so if we're given a right angle triangle like this, so you can see 40 degrees there. That's the angle. What do we call this side? Opposite. And this one? Hypotenuse, right? So based on the information we're being given, opposite, hypotenuse. So based on the information there, which ratio are we going to do? Are we going to do sine, cos, or tan? Sine, right? Yeah. So let's write this down. So based on the ratio, so sine angle is opposite over hypotenuse. Is it okay? So this part we've already covered before the exam. Now, if it's not urgent, not related to this, then we leave it later. So, how do we find x? It has nothing to do with this chapter now. How do we find x? Is how we solve equations in previous chapter, right? So x equals 8 times sine 40. People okay with that?
What is sin 40?
Hold on, I'm going to answer those questions. X equals, now at this stage, can you take your calculator out? From now on, you must bring the calculator. So what I'll ask you to do was sine cos tan. In the previous exercise, we know it is basically the ratio, right? Something over something. Now, can we type in 8 times sine sin, there's a button on your calculator plus sin sine 40 degrees. And equal, on my calculator says 5.14, etc., etc. Do people get 5.14? Yeah? Awesome. In the actual exam was a 1 decimal, 2 decimal, but let's not worry about that. Let's just leave it 2 decimal places. We get 5.14. While we are talking about this, it's super important. Can you really open your eyes really big? It's so small. On top of the screen, there's a capital letter says D on the top of your screen on your calculator. That stands for degrees. That stands for degrees. Make sure it's written as a D. If your calculator is written as an R, that stands for radians, which we haven't done. So make sure your mode is sitting into D, not R. If it's R, we'll leave it. I'll come during exercise time. I'll come to help you to change the mode. Okay, for now we're going to move on. Do you understand this part? Okay, let's move on. Make sure you are focusing on today's brand new content. And we have no time to repeat after today. Now, okay, always starting from the angle, right? So angle is here. In relation to this angle, what's this side called? Adjacent and hypotenuse. Very good. Adjacent, hypotenuse. Which ratio I'm going to pick? Cos. Very good. Okay, so let's write this down. So cos angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. I'm still hearing people chatting. So x is 15 cos 36 degrees. Now once again, all I'm doing is I'm typing into the calculator. 15 times cos 36 degrees. Once again, my calculator must in degree mode. Equal. Mine give me 12.14. If I'm talking about 2 decimal places. You guys okay? In fact, I should write down centimeter as well. Okay, all good? Any questions so far? Related to this?
Sort of.
Yeah.
You know the booklet that had like this line called tan on it? I don't have that.
Oh, I'll get to that. It's on the, it's on OneNote.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sir, how do you, when I press on pause, it has like a -1 on it.
Oh, you press shift before.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Good, very good. Okay, move on. Okay, this question here. I got an angle here, yeah? Opposite, and this one is adjacent. My apology, actually this one should be straight G. Anyway, I'll do it in one go anyway. So, which ratio I'm going to use? Opposite, adjacent? What is it? Tan, right? Very good. So tan opposite is opposite over adjacent. Now, technically speaking, sorry about that. Technically speaking, this is 3G, but since I put this question here now, I'll do it together. Now, have a look. Can I encourage you to have a look? This question, where's X? On the top at the numerator. Yeah, very good. This question, where's X?
Numerator.
Numerator.
Denominator.
Denominator, very good. So this question, X is denominator now. This is where people tend to make the mistakes. I'm going to really slow down and explain what's happening. So make sure you are listening. So X is here now. Notice that when X is on the top, what I'm doing is this times this, right? You guys okay?
Yeah.
When X is on the top, what I'm doing is this times this. Now, when X is on the bottom now, can I ask you to think about this? I'm going to put a really easy question here, right? What's X? 6 divided by what is 3? 18? 6 divided by what is 3? 2.
Daniel Carter said it.
Yep.
It was Daniel Carter.
Shh. I don't need other comments. 6 divided by 2 is 3. How did I get the 2?
3 times 3.
How did I get the 2? 6 divided by 3. Perfect. It's exactly same thing here, just in the context of trigonometry. I'm going to say this one more time. Make sure you're listening. If I can't do this straight away in my head, right? Well, this has no difference, in my opinion, to this. Right? Something divided by x is a number. Something divided by x is a number. That itself is a number. It's just the ratio, right? Okay. So how did I get x? 6 divided by 3. So that divided by this.
3.9.
Is that okay? Let's write this down. So x is 10 divided by 10, 38 degrees. Then once again type into our calculator, 10 divided by 10, 38. We get, let's quote 12.8. Sorry, what am I writing? Centimeter. Okay.
Yeah, it says error.
Can you all listen carefully? We have not stopped to go through this afternoon. So make sure you are focusing well. I'm not going to ask again. All I'm doing is 10 divided by 10, 38. Type into calculator, you're done. Have you guys got this 12.8 on your calculator? I've seen a few yes. No? And I'll come to help you after this. Okay, I'm going to use another way to explain. Now, 1038, technically speaking, is just 1038 divided by 1. Do you agree? Anything divided by 1 is just itself.
Yeah.
Right? So I get 10 over x, copied on the right hand side. Now earlier in the equation chapter we said, okay, fraction equals a fraction, which means I'm going to use the cross multiply method, which basically means this times this equals this times this. When two fractions equals each other, when I multiply this multiplied by this equals this multiplied by this. What that means is it up. 1038 times x equals 10. Then x equals 10 over 1038. Then becomes exactly the same there now. X equals 12.8 centimeter. That's basically, I'm just using another method to explain why it's division. Is it okay? All good? Okay, a few questions for you guys to practice. Can you guys do this now? Calculate the length of side labeled x. Gave you answer to one decimal place. It's a multiple choice. Give it a go. While you do it, I'll walk around to see you guys working out.
I'm gonna change mine to a D. It's a G line. H,
X equals 12.8. Is that the actual answer?
Oh, how'd you do it?
I just answered X equals 12.8. Shift mode 3.
Which I'm using?
Sine.
Sine.
Oh
Very
yeah,
good.
sine.
I always get 7.8.
Because that's over. It's opposite over. Beta minus.
Okay, let's have a look. Which I'm using?
Sine.
I'm using sine, right? So sine 23 is opposite over hypotenuse. So x is 20 times sine 23 degrees. Now type into my calculator. 20 times sine 23, 7.8. So the answer is A. All good? Very good. Now these ones are the must know material, like super basic stuff. Okay, these ones are pretty much exactly the same thing. It's on OneNote. You guys can go to practice later. I'm going to do a little bit harder ones.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm going to move this up so you guys can see better. Anyway, okay, here we go. A little bit harder ones, right? Find the length AB with AB down the bottom in these diagrams, two decimal places, etc., etc. So I'll give you guys 2 minutes thinking time. Just pretend if I have this one in exam, right? How am I going to approach it? Yes. Now we've learned the tools. The tool is we've learned the sine, cos, tan. We've learned if x is on the top, what do I do? We've learned if x is on the bottom, what do I do? What do we do, right? We've learned those things individually. But if we put all this information in one question, where do we start? I know this one, I know the angle. I know that one, hypotenuse, I know the angle. But I want to find A, B all together. How do I approach it? Any suggestions, any ideas?
Oh.
Give it a go.
First, try and find the length of from that red line to B.
Okay, let me just give it a name, it's easier, yeah? If we call that M or something, how would you say it?
You'll use so hypotenuse and opposite.
So the idea, the total, our destination, if we call it, our destination is to find AB.
It's sine bracket
Wait, you have
7.
to
And
find
this-
the other one first.
I know the small one. Like I know the small one. I know the small one.
What do you mean small one? Just call it the letter.
Oh, AM.
AM. How do you find AM?
Would that be cos 70 degrees?
Perfect.
And then
So maybe we call this part X. We call this part Y. Alright?
I was gonna have X in the equation.
Yeah? Do you guys agree? I hope people can recognize straight away. If I can find X, I can find Y. Job done.
Yeah.
Do you agree? This is how our brain should be thinking at this point in time, right? Yeah? If I can find X, I can find Y. Do you think job done?
They still have
Why do I say job done? I just add them together. Perfect, of course. That's why that's how AB is defined, right? X plus Y. Yeah?
Yeah.
How do I find X?
So it's is it cos 70 x over 1.6.
Cos 70
So equals-
is adjacent over hypotenuse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it now. You guys can do that. Yep. How do I find the Y? Somebody give me another equation. How do I find the Y?
Sin
How do I find the Y? Speak up.
sine.
How do I find the Y? Come on. Exactly same thing. Speak up. That's fine. Give it a go.
It doesn't it start by finding the red line?
This is. I'm looking at this triangle now, right? How do I find the Y?
30 equals x over 20.
I'm looking at the Y. I'm not looking at X anymore.
It's 10:30.
10:30.
I'm looking at Y. Which ratio?
It's
So
sine.
it's 10, 30 x over 20.
No.
It's sine. It's sine 30.
If we're trying to
Sine 30, 20 over what?
Sine 30 equals x
Y
over
is
20.
sine.
Because it's
Opposite over hypotenuse.
I don't know the opposite. Where's the opposite? I can't see the opposite.
it's cos. It's equals to 10.
It's cos.
So it's 10
What's going on?
20 and y. Adjacent is 20. 20 and y.
Yeah, it's adjacent and there's adjacent and hypotenuse. So it's
That should be very, very basic for you guys to.
That's what I said.
yeah. So
I haven't heard cos. I've heard plenty of sine and tan. Yeah. Now, guys, seriously, this sort of question are still fairly easy ones, like fairly easy ones. Like yes, a little bit harder than the one triangle which we did just now, right? Those are the super basic ones. These ones, super basic ones. Now it's just two triangles put together, but exactly same idea, right? Now, I can find x is 10.6 cos 70. 10.6 cos 70 is 3.63. How do I find the y? I've done this at least 10 times now. How do I find the y?
cos 30 equals y over 20.
How do I find the y?
20 times cos 30.
Thank you. 20 times cos 30, right? We get 17.3. Now, how do I find the total of AB?
Add them together.
Just plus them together. That's
1.69.
how we decided initially. That's not the reason why we need to find x and y individually.
66.
Guys, can you stop talking? Now this is what I mean. Like, we can do the very basic question now. We need to start to practice these ones to improve our understanding to the next level. Have a look at part B. First of all, What does those symbols mean?
Equal.
They are equal.
Or you can do
Right.
it.
This time, I hope. Joe, give me your diary later. I hope I don't provide the solution straight away. I'm going to give you guys some hints, and I'll guide you through. Right? Those sides are equal. That angle is 120 degrees. So when my eyes see that angle is 120 degrees, for me, straight away I'm thinking about this angle. How many degrees is that?
120.
120.
How many degrees is that?
120.
60 degrees. Why?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Why?
Half of the angle.
Half of the angle or parallel line.
Oh yeah.
Co-interior angles add up to 180. If I add up to 180, that's 120. Therefore, this one is 60. Sorry, I read a bit. Okay, that's 60. Question is, I want to find AB. At the moment, if I look at the top, right? AB is part of a trapezium. Do you agree? That's really hard. I can't use trigonometry if it's trapezium.
You can put a line.
I can use sine cos tan in a right angle triangle. Now, question is, how do I break this down into a right angle triangle?
See if you put a line, so in the middle.
What do you mean by that?
So if you put a line on the tip and then you put it down through the middle, then you can add the.
Let's try that. Yeah, is
add
that what you
them
mean?
Together. Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Like that. Very good. Yep. So I put a perpendicular line. Let's call that M or N, whatever you want to call it. Let's call M. Let's call M. Keep reminding yourself what I'm supposed to find. I'm supposed to find AB, right? Now AB is AM plus MN plus MB. That's how we should be posting all those information, right? Question: do I know MN?
Yes.
Yes.
What is it?
575.
Perfect. That's here. Yes. Right?
It's
Those are
fine.
the same.
Yeah.
Yep. Here and here the same. Now, so this part is already solved. Can I use the trigonometry knowledge we learned earlier and today? Can I find AM?
It's
Yeah.
So that's 60. This part is 60. That's 5, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
How do I find AM? Sine equals 10. Which one?
Sine.
Analyze the information carefully before you say. What is it?
Cos.
Cos. Adjacent. Yeah? People agree?
Oh yeah.
Adjacent. So we can find AM. MN already know. Can we find MB? Well, AM and MB are the same thing, isn't it? So once we find AM, we just double it, then plus MN,
Plus
problem
5.
solved.
Yeah.
Again, that's how our brain should be thinking when you see this sort of thing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Let's do the proper working out now. Okay. So cos 60 equals AM over 5. Do you agree?
Yeah.
No? Now AM is 5 times cos 60. I get 2.5 in my head. Can you check? Is that right?
Yes.
Good. Okay, we get 2.5 centimeter. Yeah? When you get to year 11, you'll also be able to do this in your head. That's a special number. Anyway, that's for later. Okay, that's AM. So basically, AM also equal to NB, also equal to 2.5. Does that working out make sense?
Also, IB is 10.
I don't have to do that work. I don't have to do this triangle one more time because this part is equal to this part. Yeah? Now, can somebody help me to write down the final expression for AB?
IB equals 10.
Can somebody help me?
2.5 2.5 times 2.
2.5 times 2.
That's 5.
Plus
Perfect.
Can you just add 5 plus 5 to it?
Yeah? I hope you guys agree that it's not too bad. It just requires a bit of thinking, but the mathematics is not too bad. Okay, let's move on. Okay, because just now I've accidentally included that example in 3F, hopefully this one is not too hard. Okay, technically we've already done this one just now. Let's have a look. Use appropriate ratio. So the question will not say use sine, use cos, use tan. You decide, right? In the exam, the question will never say use sine to solve this, use cos to solve this. We just need to, based on the information given, we decide which ratio we're gonna do. Let's have a look. Angle is here. What's this one called? Opposite.
Sin 31.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. So we're going to say sine.
Sine 31.
Sine 31 is opposite over hypotenuse. Now once again, the unknown is down the denominator. Therefore, what do we do? Times or divide? Times or divide?
Times.
Divide.
No, but don't you have to swap?
Oh no, because x is the denominator, or c is the denominator.
Thank you. I've used two methods to explain just now. If you forgot, what? I don't want to say forgot or memorize. Understand what's going on. All you are doing is that's all it is. Something divided by 2 is 4. What's something? What is it? 8. How did I get 8?
You times 2.
4 times 2. Yeah?
Yeah.
4 divided by what is 2? Obviously 2. How did I get the 2? 4 divided by 2. But I don't want guys to memorize, oh, when x is on top, I times. When x is on the bottom, I divide. But that's basically what's going on. Is that okay? You guys okay now? That's how you do divide, right? That's why we do divide. The rest, we can all type into calculator. I'm not going to worry about now. Have a look at this one. Oh, sorry. This one, I think, oh, it's very hard to see here. Okay. Which ratio I'm gonna pick? What is it?
Cos.
Cos.
Yeah.
Cos 35 is adjacent over hypotenuse. How do I find x?
Divide. Yeah.
Fantastic. Very good. The rest, you guys can type into calculator, which I'm not going to do now. Okay? One more, and then we'll finish for today. Which ratio I'm going to do? 10. Once again, 10 is opposite over adjacent. How do I find x?
7 over 10.
Type that into your calculator, then we're done. That is the key information or your concept for F and G today. Now, I have included, just like last time, hopefully when you open OneNote, you'll be able to see this, right? When you open this file, you'll see I've put plenty of questions here for you to try. Obviously, you don't have to do them all. They're very, very repetitive. How did I open another one? Okay. I'm gonna stop the video now.